All right, we've talked about the AIS, we've talked about the value chain that the AIS takes part in, and that the value chain is a series of activities or business processes that support the operations of the business. What kind of business processes can the AIS support? Well, of course, it supports a number of the internal business processes. If you think about a company, most of them run what we call enterprise software now, or enterprise systems. The primary example of that in operation today is an ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning System. ERPs are large systems that are designed to accommodate the business processes that take place throughout all areas or almost all areas of the organization. Now, enterprise systems accounting needs to be able to collect, retrieve, and report on all types of information. So at the core of most ERPs is an AIS, some kind of an accounting system that coordinates and collects all that information. If you think about ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning, we've got an AIS that at its core has a GL, General Ledger. Everything in this AIS, the enterprise system, the ERP, is stored in a centralized database, whereas in previous days, a decade or more ago, a lot of companies still had a lot of systems that were specific to a division or an area of responsibility. So there would be a manufacturing system that was only on the shop floor and with operations. There would be a financial system that was only in the CFO's office. There would be separate marketing systems that handled marketing activities, and so on down the line. So the ERP is now a centralized activity, and it's going to support all these different activities. So let's say the manufacturing operations have taken place, and they report their results to the AIS. We also have, say, the cost accounting system where the costing parameters are put in and the calculations, planning and budgeting. So budget. Basic activities like purchasing, sales, human resources, treasury activities, all basically go into the central ERP, the core of, again, which is the AIS. With the ERP can take, say, an order from a customer and make it available to someone in marketing, someone in customer relation management, so that they can see what kind of activity a customer has to support their sales activities or their support of that customer. Everyone in all of the different business processes has access to information relevant to them in the ERP. The ERP definitely supports internal processes, but most companies don't work in isolation. They interact with other companies now. So if you think about the value chain, we talked about procurement, operations, and so forth in the value chain itself. Well, similarly, we've got what we call a supply chain. So supply chain basically are the group of activities, and we think about suppliers, us, the company of interest, and customers. Now, the supply chain goes from suppliers to us and to customers, but it can continue down to customers of customers. And it can continue back to suppliers of suppliers. So let's say, I think the textbook offers a Sam's Club example. But, Costco, I go shopping at Costco fairly frequently, and they sell a number of items that are basically set up. You think about going into a convenience store and buying just the one packet of Tylenol from that little dispenser by the cash register. Well, you can buy those boxes with those packages at a Costco. So the convenience store has these displays of Tylenol, which is manufactured by McNeil. For Costco, McNeil would be the supplier. And then, of course, McNeil buys their ingredients from some other supplier down the road. Costco, if we look at Costco as being us in this supply chain, is going to sell those packages of retail Tylenol envelopes to a convenience store owner, who is then going to sell it to you and me, who walk in there and all of a sudden we have a headache and realize, hey, I want some Tylenol. We might be traveling, we might be out of town, we may just not want to go home right now and pick some up. So, for whatever reason, we just need two. We're going to pay the, $2 to get two, and then there you go. So the supply chain is all of these suppliers, upstream suppliers and downstream customers that eventually take part in the movement and sale and purchase of the goods from one step to the next. So there's an important component of these external business processes called supply chain management, SCM, that also becomes a module that feeds into the ERP. Supply chain management manages, from our perspective, the acquisition of goods into our production system, into our distribution system, onto where we are able to put it in place to sell to the customer. Another category of software that's associated with the supply chain as well is the customer relationship management. Supply chain management, even though it's considered even though it's called supply chain, it tends to deal mostly with the supplier and the upstream side of the supply chain in comparison to the company itself. Downstream, we have something called CRM, Customer Relationship Management Software. So this software helps manage the company's interactions with the customers. And CRM can help identify customers, develop a pipeline for sales, qualify customers all the way from sales, pre-sales support, all the way through to the sale, and then subsequent support of customers as they need maintenance or as they need answers to questions. For technology related customers, maybe they need help, so they open up help tickets for various questions they may have with their products. So customer relationship, it also helps track what customers have done in the past, what products they've purchased, so that maybe we can focus on expanding what they buy from us, other product lines that we may offer. So we've all seen an example of customer relationship management just by doing our online web shopping. Any of you who have bought something from Amazon have found well, since you bought this, maybe you want to look at that, or other people who bought this bought that. So customer relationship management deals with that side of the supply chain. Supply chain management typically deals with the upstream side, and as you can see, they all fit into the overall environment of the ERP, which handles these internal and external business processes.